I had a severe lapse in judgment. Okay, so basically, I don't believe that now that people, it's okay for people to be unalived just for simply saying something that you along the lines of, you should be happy. You should that you are blessed to be alive. You're blessed to have your family. You know, you're blessed to have your loved ones. When when I said that people that say those things need to be unalived, that was extreme aggression, and it was coming from a place out of anger and frustration, and you know, just to say that's me. Baseline, it might have been, but it doesn't make it right though. You know, it doesn't necessarily make it right. People say hurtful things all the time. I still believe that to live, you know, to be living and, to be alive are two different things, you know. I still believe that there's a such thing as people being in a vegetative state, people that have diminished qualities of life, whether it be health wise, financially, or on a spiritual level. People, they have different degrees of suffering and different degrees of challenges and, tests, that they have to go through on a daily basis. Some people, they have deformities. There's people that have way more worse off life than I do, in that regard. you know, I can be thankful that I have, good limbs and at least a somewhat healthy lungs and heart, you know, that I'm healthy. I could thank God for my health. I could thank God for my loved ones. But, another way that they could have worded it, in my opinion, is to just say, count your blessings, and maybe it was how it was said. Maybe I kind of focused too much on how it was said and not what was being said, because that's right. I should be thankful for my blessings, and I am. But for somebody else to tell me that I need to just be thankful just to be alive and not acknowledge, my losses, like what the fuck,